Good morning, all. I'm so loving these filters, they're just fun. Today's a waxing moon card reading for you lovely earth angels is of course from the Moonology card deck, and I have 4 beautiful cards for you to talk about the next 2 weeks and the energy that's coming up as we move into the full moon. So the waxing cycle is the cycle that happens just before the full moon. It's as the moon is getting fuller and fuller and fuller. So it is an emotional time, obviously. It is a time when we might feel a little bit more emotional. So it's really interesting, the 4 cards that you've got this week, that the tribe that I've pulled out for you all is all about emotions, and it's all about getting set up and ready for the full moon, which is coming next week. And next week is going to be when you can do your releasing ceremonies, if that is what you enjoy to do. And to be honest, a releasing ceremony for a full moon is as simple as writing on a piece of paper what it is that you'd like to release, and then letting it go by burning it or burying it or flushing it down the toilet, even if you want to. So I look very studious with this filter on today. So our first card today is it's time to release negativity. So you can see there the beautiful full moon with the Scorpio sign, the scorpion in the middle. So what this particular card is talking about, because our first card for the waxing cycle is always about what is it that is rising up in me that needs to be released. So this card is talking about negativity. It's talking about anything that's toxic, anything that is not serving you, anything that you've been thinking about for ages that needs to be released, anything old that is really not making you feel good. And that includes people, situations, beliefs, thoughts, habits, whatever it is that is not making you feel good. Maybe it's watching TV, maybe watching things that don't make you feel good, including the news, perhaps, or maybe it's just TV programs. Maybe there needs to be a shift in what it is that you digest, not just physically, but also emotionally and mentally as well. So have a think about that. What is it that is negative in your space that needs to be released in the next 2 weeks? So the beautiful full moon in Scorpio card is coming to all of you to remind you to release negativity, because that is not healthy for us. It's not healthy for us to do that. So let's consider that as our first thing in the next week. Before, as we lead up to the full moon, we need to look at releasing negative things. And by the way, you don't have to just like up and leave your relationship to today. Be sure to think about what it is that you really want. What is it that you really want? What is it that you would like to feel? And how is it that this particular card resonates with you? What is it that you need to know? Also remember that Scorpio, the scorpion, has a little bit of a sting in its tail. So be aware that while you're doing your releasing work, while you're releasing your negativity, that you stay aware of people who might have a bit of a sting in their tail, because that is a little bit of a warning from the Scorpion full moon at this time. Second card that's coming up for all of us is the beautiful Prosperity Lies Ahead card, which is fabulous. The new moon in Taurus card is just to let you know that this is what we need to work on in the next 2 weeks. And you'll notice that this card has come up a couple of times recently, so it's obviously something that we all still need to work on, because when a card keeps jumping out on a consistent basis, it means that we haven't quite finished whatever it is that lesson is that you're being taught at the moment. Because some people think that they need to keep on pulling out new cards all the time, and that's not always the case. The message might be that we need to focus on abundance, more and more and more, rather than going this week focus on abundance, next week focus on something else, the week after that focus on something else. So if you're using your own deck to do your card readings, just remember that when a card keeps jumping out, it means that you haven't finished working on that thing that you're being guided to work on. So the prosperity card is a little reminder from the beautiful Taurus new moon that we are coming into a prosperous time, and to remember that we are all abundant, that we are naturally and universally abundant, that our soul is infinite, and therefore money is also infinite. The source of our money is infinite, and so therefore we are also infinite. Remember that money is really important. Hi, Connie. It's really important to remember that money is the outward expression of what's happening on the inside. So if you are not feeling worthy, then your net worth is not going to equal your what's happening on the inside. So there's a book called Worthy by Nancy Levin, where she talks about your net worth equaling your self-worth, and it's so important to remember that we are worthy of all of the goodness in the universe, and this is such an important thing to remember. So the beautiful new moon in Taurus is just letting us know prosperity is coming. Stay in that space of gratitude. Make sure that you're doing your gratitude journal, whether it's morning or night. Write down your 3 things that you're most grateful for in the day, and if you can think of more, that is awesome. I remember that I was doing some work on gratitude a little while ago, and I was reading, I think it was Louise Hay, and she said, if you're not getting what you want and you're doing, say, 3 gratitude things in the morning, or 4 gratitude or 5 gratitude, she said, do more. Write down more things that you're grateful for, because the things that you're grateful for, that energy of gratitude brings in more things, more gratitude, more grateful things, more things to be grateful for. That's what I'm trying to say. So beautiful prosperity card coming up as our second card for the waxing moon. That's our focus for the next 2 weeks. And our third card is, what do we need to do? What is the action that we need to take? Okay, so the action is adjustments are required. So the beautiful third quarter moon is just letting you know that there are adjustments that need to be made at this time. So if you're working towards a goal and you feel like it's not really working, it's not really getting where you want to go, then it's time to make some adjustments. It's time to sit down and have a look at what it is that you're trying to achieve, and maybe call in some assistance. Ask for someone who you trust, an expert perhaps, a financial advisor, a friend who's a consultant, a therapist, somebody who you trust, a life coach who could come in and help you to make the adjustments that you need to make in your plan. Because right now what's happening is the energy is slightly off course. So whatever it is that you're working on at the moment, you need to just do some tweaking. What a beautiful word that is. Do some tweaking, and then you can move in the right direction. So think about it this way. When we're making a recipe for food, it's not, I'm not the greatest cook, but I am one who likes to do things quickly and efficiently, and sometimes the recipe feels like it's taking too long, and so I will try and skip steps to move forward quicker. But in actual fact, what I need to do is follow the recipe, because the recipe is set up in that way for a reason. And in the same way, when you're doing your goals, it's really important that you take this step and then the next step and then the next step, because if you try and skip ahead too quickly, you might actually A, miss an amazing learning opportunity, B, you might actually miss something that's really important that needs to build on the foundation of your goal and go further, and C, you actually are circumventing the whole point of life if you try and skip ahead too fast. So that is what partly what the adjustments required card is all about. So think about what you're doing right now. Does it need some tweaking? Do you need to call in some assistance, some advice? And then you can move forward with more ease and grace. You know, sometimes we can be a little bit too quick in this day and age to move forward fast instead of actually experiencing the journey in that most glorious way. So that is the adjustments required card. Now our final card is the final outcome for the next 2 weeks. Interesting card because we got another full moon card and it's in Aries, and the card is all about a fiery climax approaches. So just so you know, we're coming up to the full moon next week. So next week, you know, in this next week, be aware that, you know, tensions might be high. So whatever it is that is coming up for you at the moment, be mindful of what you say, be mindful of how you act, and be aware that you might be a little bit, I've just changed the color of my glasses. I do not know what I'm doing here sometimes on these lives. But anyway, so not to distract you from this beautiful card, but this is the card of fiery climaxes. So be aware that coming up in the next week, you might have, just be careful of when you're speaking to people to not let your emotions, let your words get away from you. It's really important that you think about what you want to say, and if you need a timeout, then you know, go and take a timeout and be in your own space, because when we have a full moon energy and we have the energy also of Aries, it is a fiery time, it is a fiery energy, so you want to be mindful of that. So this has been fun, especially with these glasses. Let's see if I can change them again. Oh, look at that green. Oh my God, crazy. Okay, we're going to end on pink. So our 4 cards for the waxing cycle are: it's time to release negativity and do your releasing spells. Prosperity lies ahead, my friends, so be grateful, 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 grateful for your abundance. Adjustments are required. Do your tweaking. Make sure that you're on the right path. Don't skip any steps, my friends, not like my recipes. And remember to be mindful of your words, because a fiery climax approaches, and you just need to be mindful of what you're doing there. The other thing I just wanted to mention before I finish, and I hope you have a wonderful week, is that coming very, very soon is my Find Your Soul at Sea companion journal, which is going to be coming very shortly in February. Cross your fingers. Find Your Soul journal. Your Find Your Soul journal is coming soon. I'm so excited. So Find Your Soul at Sea is my book that I wrote about my time working on cruise ships, where I had my spiritual awakening in a very non-spiritual place. And this Find Your Soul journal is coming very, very soon. So you'll be able to write your own story, which is going to be very exciting. And I take you through a process of how to do that. My pleasure, Connie and Maria and Deborah. Thanks for all watching, and Gabby. That's awesome. And I'll see you very soon, probably next week for the full moon. Have a great week. Bye for now.